Lesson 12.4 is about spheres. Okay, a sphere, of course, is a circular solid, and any place you measure from the outside of the sphere to the center of the sphere is a radius of the sphere. So we usually just depict it as being, a horizontal section there right in the middle as the radius. And the formulas are very simple for spheres. First of all, the area, which is actually just the surface area of the whole sphere, is equal to 4 times pi r squared. So it's like 4 central disks. If I could measure this circular disk, this would be a circle with an area of pi r squared, and actually the outside surface area of the entire sphere is 4 times that value. And then the volume of a sphere is 4/3 times pi times the radius to the third power. So you cube the radius length and multiply it by 4/3 times pi, and that will give you the volume of the sphere. So as an example, a sphere with a radius of 5 has an area of 4 pi times the radius squared, or 4 pi times 5 squared, or 4 times 25 pi, which would be 100 pi, and being a surface area, kind of like the total area of a different kind of solid, this would be in square units. The volume would be 4/3 of pi times the radius of 5 to the third power, which is 4, in the numerator, 4 times 5 to the third, which is 125. So this would be 4 times 125, which is 500 over 3, so 500 pi, and this would be in cubic units. Now, just estimating these, even if you used a value as simple, I know that we could use an approximate value of 3.14 for pi, but even just roughly, we can say that the surface area is about a little more than 100 times 3, or a little bit more than 300 square units. So it's actually 314 or so square units. And the volume, this pi here would cancel out approximately with that 3. So it's approximately 500 cubic units. So in a quick little example working with some algebra, let's say that I have a sphere, and the area of this sphere, the surface area, is 16 pi, and you are asked to find the volume. So all you really need to know always in all of these is the length of the radius, is r. So if the area is 16 pi, then I know that 16 pi is equal to 4 times pi r squared. So dividing both sides by 4 pi, I get that on the left side that 4 is equal to r squared. So the radius is equal to the positive square root of 4, which is 2. So then the volume is 4/3 pi times the radius to the third power. So in this case it would be 4/3 times pi times 2 to the third, which is 8. So 8 times 4 is 32/3 times pi, and this is going to be, of course, in cubic units. Okay, in this last example, let's say that we have a sphere that is inscribed inside of a cylinder that has a diameter of 10 and a height of 10. And what we want to find is the volume that's inside the cylinder but outside the sphere. So our process is going to be, we're going to find the volume of the total cylinder, then we're going to find the volume of the sphere, and then we will subtract the volume of the sphere from the volume of the cylinder in order to find that volume of that area, again, that's inside the cylinder but outside the sphere. So first of all, the first thing to do is to find the radius, and of course if the diameter of both the cylinder and the sphere is 10, then this radius for both is 5. And that's really the only dimension that we need besides the base area. Well, we can find the base area. We just really need to know also, if I draw in the base of this cylinder, of course, it is also 5. So the volume of the cylinder is base times height. So in this case, that is, the volume is pi times the radius squared times the height of 10. So this is pi times 5 squared times 10, or 250 pi cubic units. Then the volume of the sphere, remember, is 4/3 of pi times the radius to the third power. So that's going to be 4/3 of pi times the radius of 5 to the third power. 5 to the third is 125, so 125 times the 4 in the numerator is 500, and this is thirds, times pi cubic units. So the volume that's outside the sphere but inside the cylinder is 250 pi cubic units minus 500 thirds pi cubic units. So if we put that all over thirds, in other words, I'm going to multiply this first term by 1 in the form of 3/3. I get 750 pi minus 500 pi all over 3 cubic units. So that's going to be 250 pi over 3 cubic units. And if I use an approximate value of 3.14 for pi, I get approximately 262 cubic units. And that's it for spheres.